Oh, so we went to Reno, the biggest little town in America, and that was one of the rowdiest fucking crowds I performed in front of in a long time, and it kind of surprised me because the last time I came to Reno, they weren't like that. But what happened was we pulled in to Reno, which I fucking love that city, right? We pulled in, and we just see all these people in the street. They had closed off the street, and we had to try to figure out how to get the bus around. And they had this festival out there. It was Brews, Blues, and BBQ. They should have said BBQs, you know, like you're getting more than one barbecue, just so it rhymes. Brews, Blues, and BBQs. But it was Brews, Blues, and BBQ. And I swear to God, this shit show that was walking around out in the sun, the tattooed fucking shit show of people walking around hammered, you know, parents who let their fucking in-laws watch the kids, and they're down there sunburned, boozing, eating barbecue. Me and Bartnick immediately were just like, oh, there's barbecue, we got to fucking go. And we go down there, and people were fucking shit-faced, well on their way to getting shit-faced. I saw some lady in the sun, right, sitting at this table with their head down, like, you know, remember when you came in from outdoor recess and everybody was all amped up from the sugar and salt you'd put in your bodies during lunch, and you came in, and the teacher would be like, all right, everybody put your heads down on the desk. Let's just take a little nap here. Let's fucking relax so you're not bouncing off the walls as I try to teach you some phonics here. That's what she looked like. And she was, I mean, it was like 2 p.m. So me and Bartnick are going like, all right, let's get some barbecue. Took us forever to find out where it was. And then when we found it, it had this ridiculously long line. And Bartnick's looking at me going, dude, I don't want to fucking stand in that line. And I was like, yeah, fuck that. Let's not stand. But then it seemed to be moving, so we were like, fuck it. So we stood in the line, and the barbecue was unbelievable. One of the best briskets I ever had. And I was sitting there going, all right, I've been eating right. I've been doing cardio every day. Let's just pick one meat. All right, either get the ribs, the pulled pork, or the fucking brisket. And, you know, I was starving, so you know how that goes. You get up there, and your brain is telling you, you know, just get the pulled pork or just get the ribs, you know. But the demon, the sugar salt demon that's running through your veins goes, get all three. And who do you give into? You give into the addiction. So I go, all right, let me get all three. And some coleslaw and one of those little fucking jalapeno cornbread things. So we fucking, you know, I'm in front of Bartnick. I get all my shit, and I get a lemonade. And I see this table where there's 2 people already sitting there, but there's an umbrella and some shade. And, you know, I'm a redhead, so I'm 1 degree away from a fucking albino. So I beeline towards that, and I sit down. I said, hey, do you guys mind if we sit here? And this guy's like, you know, it cost you fucking $8. This crazy fucking laugh. And he's missing number 8. Okay? You got 2 teeth down front, 8 and 9, going from right to left. He was missing number 8. No, I'm sorry, number 9. He was facing me. Sorry, it's my dental office days. And I didn't give a fuck. I rolled with their jokes. You know, I was like, all right, man, I'll give it to you in a check. He goes, no, I'm kidding. It's only $6. Fucking crazy laugh, missing a tooth. And at that point, Bartnick sits down, and he's got that I'm going to murder a biker look on his face. And he just looks at me, and he goes, and they're like trying to joke with him, and he completely ignores them. And he looks at me, and he goes, there's a tent over there. And I go, oh yeah? And because now it's all awkward because he's not interacting with these people who are hammered, telling the worst jokes ever, and I'm pretending like they're funny. And Joe goes, there's a tent right over there. And I just go, oh, you want to go sit over there instead? And he goes, yeah. And he stands up. So then I, like a little kid, just go, okay, guys, see ya. And I walked over there. I start laughing. I go, Jesus Christ. And he goes, Bartnick does this thing where he just sort of puts his hand up, one of his hands up. He goes, dude, I want to enjoy my meal, okay? I don't want to sit there, talk to that, what did he call them, methy or something like that with this missing tooth. I just want to sit here and enjoy it. And then we sat down at this other fucking table, and it was actually great. Where we sat, there was like a breeze and all this thing. And the fucking barbecue was delicious. And I looked across the parking lot, and there was this little coffee shop, little tiny coffee shop. Looked like there was enough room in there for someone to stand and have a coffee maker. This little coffee shop. And you know what it was called? It was called Pony Espresso. And my wife loves wordplay. So immediately I took a picture of it and I called her up, you know, and I've been on the road for a little while, so she gets a little grumpy when I'm gone that long, which is funny because when I get home, then she gets grumpy when I'm home for 5 days. I'm a really annoying person is what I'm trying to tell you. So I called her up and I told her that joke and she fucking lost it. I don't know why she loves wordplay, but it's one of my favorite things to do is when I see some dumb wordplay business sign, I call her up, and every once in a while something gets her. And she likes horses, and she thinks ponies are cute, and she just thought it was the cutest name ever. And she fucking laughs for like 5 minutes, making me laugh as I'm sitting there devouring the barbecue. It might have been the best moment of the tour. So anyways, you'd think having done stand-up for 23 fucking years, I would have done the math and realized that this sunburned, tattooed, missing tooth shit show that was already drinking 4 hours before my show was going to start, some of them, some of those animals were going to fucking come into the show. It never dawned on me, and I went out on stage. It was one of those things as a comic, you come walking out on stage and you just feel the vibe. Like, all right, why do I feel like I'm in a saloon in the 1800s? And I think I said one thing, and somebody yelled to the left. I don't know if that's stage left or stage right. I never know how the fuck that works. And just right out of the gate, it's like, Jesus Christ, I didn't even get a fucking word out. So I riffed something about how this person had horrible parents, and that's why this person was behaving this way. And then that was basically the end of the show. I had engaged with them, so now it just became a totally interactive experience. It was actually a really fun show. I do a couple of jokes, and then I just have to have a conversation with a drunk. There was actually a guy in the crowd who got kicked out, and he wasn't with anybody else. He was by himself. Like he was basically the best drinker of all of his friends, is what I figured out. Because I'm in the middle of my joke, and somebody just yells, "Security, security," and they immediately made a beeline over, and I see them grabbing this guy to, escort him out. And usually at that point, there's at least one other person with him screaming that it was bullshit, and there wasn't. He walked out by himself, and there was just one empty chair, and I think that's when I finally put it together. And I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. You guys are the guys that I saw drinking 6 hours ago out on the street, and everybody laughed. It was one of those crowds that would laugh at the jokes, but they would really laugh when I would snap and tell them how fucking drunk and how much they're not paying attention. Then they would really laugh. But hopefully it was still a good show. There was a few people that I was like, oh, I wish I could have saw in front of a sober crowd, so I kind of felt bad about some of that shit. But